So Vaishnavi, she is a visual artist, a designer, animator, fashion
Yeah.
enthusiast, and fashion management. Um,
Worker now. I was a student now.
yeah, student to worker. So her
Worker.
kind of journey has moved from like animation to fashion. I just wish that she combines both of them and it's going to be something really amazing. I'm
That's
waiting for
that's
that. So I'm like really excited to see Vaishnavi's illustrations and her style. So I think she's compiled it for us, especially in this episode.
yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm that type A student who does all the work. No, I'm not.
I'm happy that you did it for us, like, so that at least it's
Yeah,
there.
no, I was very excited for this, and so I prepared it. That's the only reason. I am not type A at all. But yes, very, very excited to share, and I'm sharing.
Yay.
How
Wow.
do you present this? In Canva, right? You present it, huh? Yes. Yeah, so
Wow. Hmm. Beauty in the ordinary. Yes. This is what we're
so
talking about. Yes. Go on, Vaishnavi.
yeah, man. So I'll just stop for a bit. So those works are basically on my Instagram, Coconut Sugar Creates, and this is the
Yes.
thing that I was very passionate about, is because we don't have representation of ordinary people in any form of media.
Hmm.
It is there, but it is very niche. It's here and there, it's like,
Yeah.
and whenever it's represented, no, it's not as normalized, when someone dark skinned or someone is represented, it's fully hyped up and it's supposed to be like a special novelty thing that happens.
Yeah.
It's not like a norm. So
Hmm.
example, and this is very it was irritated me because of this very nice brand that everybody knows, this cream that everyone uses. I do not want to say the name. uh, they portray that skin color is so important in life and all that, and it is to a very, like, I should thank my mom actually and my family for not really believing and perpetuating that stereotype into my mindset. So I used to get very irritated with that, and I just wanted to prove them wrong. Like like I said, if someone says that you can't do something, I'm like, no, you're
No,
wrong, I'm going to prove
I'm
you
gonna
wrong.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah, so even though I did not, even though it was very, very ingrained into me, my thoughts and my beliefs, something, either with, even though if it was superficial or a very small thing that I could do to break that stereotype, I would do. I was very determined to do that. So that was a very big, heavy influence in my artwork. So and that's when I got the idea. So when we were supposed to do our Shrishti final project, I did it on something else very personal, but this was something that I did to get away from my project. So it was called Skin Love series, and I painted people, like very prominent people, very famous people of Instagram or media, and I painted them and posted their work and tagged them. So this was, and I did it with inclusion in mind and to represent the people properly. So I did my research. I picked out very famous, say, photographs of people, and I tagged them, either the photographer who photographed that image or the person who I'm representing. So I got a really good response actually, like from the photographers whom I tagged, and the people, like the models who I tagged. So I tried to represent most of the people to my capacity from all over the world who are not conventionally considered as, the most beautiful person when you say, you have an image. So yeah, so I got noticed by Tan France's Tan France from Queer Eye, and I was like flying, because that time only that show came, Queer Eye, and I was just like, I just was like, that is an international global show, and for someone like that to actually like my picture and comment on, my post, that just gave me some level of high validation that, what, it's okay. Even though,
Yeah.
like, I think both of us don't do art for likes. I think we just do it because we want to express what we're feeling, and to get validated by someone like that for just
Yes.
feeling like, you just putting your thoughts out, is just mind blowing. It's like
Absolutely.
one of the best moments of my life. So yeah, that is kind of something that I wanted to share about this particular movement that I do on Instagram. Yeah.
Yes. 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 I think it's just one example, like how kind of everything is. It's there on the media. It affects our lives so much, but still we kind of say it's only the media, but it's not just only the media. It's like it is
It's
a
very
feedback
powerful.
loop. It's a feedback loop which keeps happening, and there are very few efforts of people questioning this, because we don't even question most of the times. We just accept it
Yeah.
and move on. But it's at the back of our mind. It's always there.
Yeah.
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 So until and unless we find some kind of connect to any kind of representation, like a simple brochure with some illustrated farmer or a lady. It's always a lady who's holding the butti or something like that. When we talk about local thing, or
Yeah.
it's like a very beautiful girl with a lot of jewelry, who is fair and a lot of jewelry, and if it's like a dark girl, it's always in some kind of very high end thing. Who think about inclusive? It's not the normal. It's not normal anymore.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, exactly. That's what that build up should be. That, like, oh, this is,
yeah,
one of a kind. This,
yeah,
we're doing all this, like, big things, like big themes, and then you put
mm,
a dark skinned girl. It's
yes,
not like, oh, normally, like, even if you see biggest representations movies, even if you see a normal movie, right? The default setting
mm,
is, there's a dude. Okay, now the now also the male beauty standards has come, like, oh yeah, you also have to be something. So
mm,
this dude, and there's always like a person who's 2 shades more than the hero.
yeah,
Okay.
uh,
And this is the norm, and
yeah,
people don't question this at all. And if there's a darker heroine, it's like a revolution. It's like, oh, for the first time in
mm,
this world, we are representing, and this is how, these type of couples also exist. They
uh,
do exist in our daily life. It's just that on screen we think that, oh, the hero is always a little bit darker than the heroine,
yeah,
and that's how it's always been, and that's how it's always should be. It's not like a casual thing where, a dark skinned girl is there with a
mm,
lighter skin hero or something like that.
yes,
Now, thank God, people are like waking up and be like, oh my God, we need to represent. Their understanding that we need representation without the hype, just like
yeah,
casually, this happens. Like, don't tell
yeah.
me this doesn't happen.
Yes, I just remembered, like, one of the famous Kannada stars.
Hmm.
He's so fair. His girl is
Yeah.
like 2 shades darker. In one of the movies, they actually
Which
made
movie?
him
Which
darker.
person?
This is the mega stars movie, Yash and Radhika Pandit.
Yeah.
They somehow managed to show a little bit undertoned color of Yash so that he matches with her complexion. Something, it was subtle, but it was visible. So it's subtle, but it's visible.
The
So
brown facing is another thing.
uh,
Another thing is that heights. The hero always has to be taller than the heroine,
oh yeah.
and that is another problem. I like short guys. It's okay. You can represent a taller
Okay.
girl with a short. No problem. Like no, honestly, no discrimination or anything like that. What I'm saying is, this is not like a normal thing. Like people really, it hits their ego if they see something like that. It's like so personally they take it. So I'm just like skin color, height, something. There are some preconceived some things that this is how a couple should look in the
Hmm.
media,
Yeah.
or just like anyone. So that is just, we are breaking the norms. We have to break the norms.
Yes, I think that's where a lot of illustrations and such work come into the picture, wherein we're putting an attempt to make something normal to be illustrated. That's one way of seeing things. Like, it's not just an illustration, it's like it's a representation of that normal thing. So that's where I really appreciate this work, and I just hope like you explore more forms of doing this. Mm.
Definitely will. So now I will share another form of um, inclusion that I feel I'm very, very passionate about is scripts of
Yeah.
Indian languages. I am so this is like a project that suddenly popped into my head and I could immediately execute it because it was in my brain. So um this is basically what I did was I asked people to write their names in their native tongues. Um, and I try to form some, like I said, I like representing something that is familiar so it connects with people immediately. So either a face or a humanoid structure or human structure or a personification. So this is what I was attempting with different languages, and India is filled with diverse options for me to play around. uh,
Yes.
so blessed that we are in this country and it's so diverse. And I mean, the whole world is diverse, but I'm just saying that I can just go outside and see like so many different things. Even in Bangalore, no, like I think along with Kannadigas, we have a sizable amount of Tamilians, we have a sizable amount of Telugites,
Yes.
and then later on, as we kept exploring, we found communities like Malayalam community near Jalahalli, and we see all these cantonment areas where you can see like ancient Tamil and Telugu. Then you see the Anglo-Indian community, so you have that Catholic influence in the English that a lot Bangaloreans, where we have this type of English accent that we talk about, and how we talk to each other and all that, that comes from that influence. And then we have all this like Muslim influence again from the cantonment areas, and it's just this amalgamation of cultures that is fascinating. We have like a Sikh culture, Gurudwara in Alsur, that is very famous. We have Jain temples. We have a lot. We have like a Marwadi community. We have like
Yeah.
so many. Like it's a cosmopolitan place ever since. Like I think, of course, when we were young. Ever since then, before the tech boom, when Bangalore was called a garden city. Even that time it was diverse.
Yes.
So, and that was like, it's an amazing place to grow up, no, and look at it. And I think that has heavily influenced me in my inclusion, I would say. That we've seen multicultures and we've grown around multicultures. So,
Absolutely.
very fascinated, and I've always wanted to learn how to write my mother tongue.
Mm.
Even though it's not a part of my curriculum, I went out of my way and asked my my parents and my aunt and my uncle to like teach me how to write Tamil and um, all that. So it's just fascinating. Then I went to Delhi and I'm like a whole different thing, man. Like I was obsessed with like Punjabi poems and the songs and the different types of scripts, and then Hindi, and actually like it's a very romantic place, so they romanticize a lot of languages, like their languages over there, and they're very proud. So I was just like so fascinated, as I am proud of my own culture, and it was so fascinating to see how they were also so and mind you, I haven't left Bangalore before this, so that this is very
Yeah.
fascinating to me. So I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. So all of these influences and looking at these different, and I think Delhi is also a place where you get to see a
Yes.
lot of
Lot of.
cultures
Mm.
there, more than, I mean, that's a different type of exposure. You see international and national also,
Mm.
and these type of places where I wouldn't even have thought of exploring because of my privilege, like Bihar, like Jharkhand, like those places where I haven't like even thought about. And the history of Delhi is taking me to
Yes.
another
Yes.
place,
Yes. I
and
think,
it's
yeah, I think Bangalore has its own kind of like diversity from people, culture, building, the way the city is structured, and Delhi is another like, you know,
another level.
another level of influences in architecture, and how
Hmm.
people travel, how people talk, how people negotiate. Everything is like,
That's
yeah.
a great point. I learned how to negotiate. Before that, I used to like get so scared to even reduce the price to like reduce $50. I was so guilty. I'm like, but then I went there and it's just like
Yes.
it's an art.
Yes.
It's amazing. Yeah, so I can't wait to travel to more places. Like I would love to travel to the actual place and learn the script and look at the script and research more deeply into their history and go.
Mhm.
But for now, I would like to do my secondary research and just explore this myself. So I go to
Have you
wherever I meet
like
people.
tried like
Sorry.
the way each script is written in a different way, like
Yeah.
yeah, so have you tried like um in the same way, or try to explore the same script in the way it is written, or you add in your like, stylize
Hmm.
it in your way? So how is it?
Okay.
uh,
I'd like to, why I was fascinated with different scripts is it comes with a different type of aesthetic only.
yes.
As in some scripts are more curvier than the other scripts. Some scripts are
Yes.
more sharper than the other scripts. Example, Bengali. Okay,
Mm,
it's
mm.
curvy and it has its edges also. It's like sharp
Yes,
and curvy.
yes, yes.
Hindi is very like very
A
linear
straight
and
line. Mm,
straight and structured.
mm.
So I do take influences from that, but mostly I'd like to just flow. I'm
Yes,
working on flow. So
yes.
I do imbibe some qualities of the native script, but I would like to experiment and see what goes beyond that, like what forms I
Mm.
can make with the script without losing its essence. Like they should know that this is a language. So
Yes,
that I want to keep intact, and
yes,
just you might not be able to read the word, but some form, artistic rendition of that form will be there. So
yes, yes. You have done my name. You've written my name. Like,
yes, Shreya
very.
Gauri, and it looks like Shreya Gauri was.
Yes, it does. It does. I should have kept it. Okay, I
Wait,
can put it up somewhere. Like,
okay, when you're editing this now,
yes,
it will flash on the screen now.
yeah,
Shreya Gauri. I'll give her a HD version of that
yeah,
thing, and
yeah.
flashing right now, people. It's flashing.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So yeah, I'll go to the next one,
Yes.
which I wanted to display is this
Mhm.
is something. This was something that I exhibited in my very first exhibition.
Mhm.
Uh, Sometimes you feel like the algorithms can read your mind. Not sometimes, all the times, because it's totally a different conspiracy theory. So I was just thinking of. Uh, I was just thinking of having a exhibition, and I felt like that was my true calling to become like an artist. Before that I was just like experimenting around. I didn't know what to do, and turns out that when I become 28 is when suddenly I have the calling to, I want to have an exhibition. I want to show the world or
Yeah.
show myself that I want to put it out there.
Mm.
So, and I found out from my projects previously is that I do well in what exploring things that are very personal to me, and I'm not afraid of showing that. So this is basically of my PCOS and the stigmas that I've been through, either of my facial hair or my scars because of my sickness or hyperpigmentation, my hair fall, a lot of it attributing to mental and physical health, because I have had a lot of struggles in my earlier days of that, and figuring it out itself is a huge thing. Okay, when you're small, like figuring what you have or what is considered not normal is a huge problem in the first place, because you want to just be normal when you're a teenager or when you're a kid. Um, and just first of all, recognizing that itself was a huge thing. Another thing is accepting it,
Yeah.
accepting that
Yeah.
that is me.
Mm.
And next is being confident that okay, now I can talk about all of this.
Yes.
So I've been always very raw. I don't know whether I seem like that, but I feel like I'm always a very raw person. I just tell it like I just tell it like it is. Not like I don't care. I actually care a lot about how it makes other people feel. But I've been very raw. So I felt like that is kind of my motivation as an artist. So if I can express something with my talents that can bring out that vulnerability and that rawness that I am brave enough to show. Yeah, I think that would be my influence for exhibiting all of these type of images or illustrations or any form of art that I feel like I'm still developing on it.
Yeah.
Um, so we were having this talk about how we need to expand our minds more in order to express ourselves better. So
Yes.
we're reading books and we're listening to people, and now more than ever we have all these types of resources, and attending seminars, and I can't be like art nerd. Like I've suddenly become an art nerd. Like I'm reading articles and I'm reading. I'm trying to read books because this is another thing. Like I used to be so anxious of reading books. Like I used to see
Mm.
the size of books on me. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not even reading that. If it's not for an exam, why should I read it? Like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. That was one. Yeah.
So again, like I think it
Mm.
happened when I got the call. Like I don't know, when I got the call, I
Mm.
suddenly everything was interesting to me, because now I suddenly had purpose. Like suddenly I knew where I can channel whatever I have, or whatever potential I have, or whatever talent I have, or whatever anything I have. I'm like, oh, you do I want to be an amazing artist and express all of these things? Yes. So what do I need to do? I need to read, I need to expand, I need to go and meet
Yes.
people, I need to do.
Yes.
So I saw my anxiety like diminish. It's happening in a gradual way, which it's supposed to. My anxiety diminish of meeting people, because I suffer from social anxiety. Now I see it diminish slowly. Of course, it's not automatic. I went to therapy. I had a lot of breakdowns. I had a lot of like very vulnerable moments, anger, frustration, spiraling, like all of these. Like, I don't want to just glamorize it, right? Like, people usually just say, yeah, I just did all this daily, 5 minutes. I got up and did pranayama and I became fine. Like, there's this
Yeah.
quote unquote dark side that happens that
Mm.
not a lot of people say, but I'm saying that those things are very important for your transformation.
Absolutely. Yes.
Like,
Yes.
not only, it's not like, oh yeah, you just do this and suddenly everything will be fine. It's like a lot of things you have to overcome. Not overcome, like, I feel like all of the emotions serve a purpose, right? Sadness, frustration, like whatever you want, the things that are not considered a good emotion, or
Yeah.
something that is level headed, all that you need to go through those things, I feel, to be a complete human being and have that full experience. Otherwise you'll be fearful of those emotions, and fear is never a good thing to harbor or have for anything, really,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So,
I think
all
we've just spoken about acceptance, and then this acceptance of this wide range of emotions, embracing those emotions. Like, it takes a lot of strength to be vulnerable is the last, like, one main thing which I
take
got.
away from the, yeah,
Yes.
definitely,
I'm so
definitely.
happy we
So
are having this conversation. Like, when, like, going through this episode, and we are still work in progress, but still representing that in art form, giving an exhibition on these topics like PCOD, hyperpigmentation, and all of those, and getting interaction, and like getting more people to embrace themselves with this thing. It's like you're reaching out, um whatever, through your art, like,
mhm.
and this word is reaching out to many many more people. So,
Yeah, man,
mm,
thank you so much. Yeah, you definitely provided a platform for me to, like, as I'm talking to you, I'm also realizing things, and you have given me that platform, and you made me feel comfortable to say this actually to you and to a lot of people. So thank you so much, Glowing Gauri. And what you're doing also is helping a lot of people. By the way, you are like a digital Mother Teresa. Bleep it if you don't.
I could call myself a digital Frida Kahlo. I mean, there's a lot of
Okay,
scar behind the
okay.
glow as well. So it's like it's like
Yeah,
open
and
door.
that's why I was so comfortable telling you about that, is because we've shared that with each other. Like,
Yes.
we know that we are not perfect people, like how everyone expects other people to perfect. If you're not perfect, we're not even associating with you. I remember this movement that was happening, like, you choose your people, and keep the people who are like thriving. And hey, I'm like, what about, no one's thriving 100%? Okay, like, if you are, then you're very privileged. uh, okay, so what about us broken people? No, because like,
Yeah.
what is that Japanese art that they put broken pottery together, and they mend it with gold lining so
Yeah.
that it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful than it was before, because what the philosophy behind that is, I'm forgetting. Please please comment what it what it is. I'm
It
forgetting
starts with
that word.
K.
Yeah,
I
it starts with K. I don't know. I don't want to mispronounce it, but
yes,
I think life is like that, like the
yes,
whole transformation makes it more beautiful, I feel, at the end of the day. And I think
absolutely.
that's the takeaway from our interview right now is that be vulnerable, be goofy, make a lot of mistakes, take a lot of chances, fail a lot, because all those words are only societal connotations attached to it.
Yeah.
If you take that away from all those experiences, it's just another stepping stone. It's just value addition. Everything is value addition to you. It's just
Yes.
that just keep going ahead. Don't shame yourself or feel guilty for going through or saying anything. You can always come and do it again. You can always stand up and do it again. It's hard, it's really tough to get that mindset, but it is
Mhm.
possible. It is
Yes.
definitely possible. We are still, I'm for sure, I am definitely still learning, and I'm still, like I said, I just started to read, I just started to get interested, all of these things, and still figuring it out. And not a lot of people have privilege of doing that. So number one is just be very grateful. I think we should be very grateful for wherever we are right
Yes.
now.
Mhm.
And along with that graciousness is that once we get the privilege and advantage, we should help out the people without privilege. I think that as human beings, as
Yes.
human beings, I think we owe so much to society. Like, yeah, you can be environmentally conscious, you can do many things, but at the end of the day, humans are humans. You need to help humans out. Of course, animals also, yes, animals, plants, all that. But the people who you can talk to, show empathy, just cut people some slack. It's okay. People make mistakes. People change. Of course, keep your personal boundaries, that is important, but you know what, don't be mean. Don't be like, don't dismiss people immediately is what because it's coming from the heart, because I've done it, I've been done too for it. And now exploring and expanding your mind till now, what I got from life is that take a chill pill on people. It's okay. You do your stuff. If you believe in whatever you want, nobody can stop it. No, honestly, nobody can stop it.
Oh
You
my
just keep
God.
doing it. You will find a way. That's it. And everyone's an artist. Please do art. Everyone do art. Uh, and follow Glowing Gauri. This
And
is
coconut sugar, sugar sweet words. Absolutely. That was like, I started thinking myself, like, oh my God, I've been mean to so many people. I mean, it
yeah,
begins right
no,
from the house. Like, we are mean in our houses.
yeah, that's
Absolutely.
okay. That's okay.
It's
Like, we're
okay.
not perfect people also.
Mm.
So don't shame yourself for doing it, and don't guilt for other people doing it. It's okay. We
Yeah,
can
it's okay.
always just improve ourselves. Leave it.
Yes.
And to that, bye, Shreya Gauri. And
Bye.
it was so nice.
Thank you.
We
That
will.
Sari Hudgi and this Sari Hudgi had this amazing conversation. I just look forward to many more. I'm like so excited. I'm so happy, so
Yeah,
grateful
definitely.
that you spoke your heart out. And I just
I'll
love
see
it.
you in one more year and see how amazing this channel has got and how your brand personality has got. So I'm wishing you the very best, and
Thank
yeah,
you.
always positive vibes and support to you always.
Thank you.